Well to Hell. The Well to Hell is a legend about a borehole in Russia that drilled too deep and broke into hell. If you have ever played Dwarf Fortress, you know the horror of unleashing the circus. The story begins in the 1980s, where a man named Mr. Azikov led Soviet engineers to a location in Siberia and had them drill a hole that was 9 miles deep, where they broke through into a cavity. Unsure of what was below, they lowered a microphone and other sensory equipment down into the hole. The hole was about 1,000 degrees Celsius, or roughly 1,800 Fahrenheit, was filled with fire, and tormented screaming could be heard. This was the story that was published by a Finnish newspaper ran by a group of Pentecostal Christians. Someone researching the story found that this Finnish newspaper had actually taken it from a different Finnish Christian newspaper, who had in turn taken it from a Messianic Jewish newspaper. From here, American tabloids ran their own story, with sound effects appearing on the internet of the reported sounds. One specific network that continued perpetuating the story was the Trinity Broadcasting Network, an American Christian television network, who used the story to show others that there was proof of hell. One Norwegian teacher had even wrote to the network, giving them a false account of having seen a bat fly out from the hole, burning a trail of fire across the sky in its wake. He had made this up, even giving the network a mistranslation of a different news story, but the network ran with it and had done no verification into his claims. As for the origin of this story, there is a real borehole that the Soviet Union did work on, being the Kola Super Deep borehole. This hole is roughly 7.5 miles deep, and they did find some interesting anomalies, disproving some previously held beliefs. However, the only thing that was described as boiling was the drilling mud because of hydrogen gas, and the only thing screaming were microscopic plankton fossils. The screams found online were soundtracks and sound bites from various horror movies, with the 1972 movie Blood Baron being identified. There are a few other horror movies about this idea, so if you have any interest in them, I suggest 9 Miles Down or The Super Deep.